Now we've been introduced to the key ingredients and the key structure of an effective essay, we're going to start having a go at putting an essay together ourselves. So on the following page will be some extracts from an essay, and what you need to do is put them in the order that you think that they should appear in the essay. What you might also want to do is have a think about whether they're effective examples of an introduction, main body, or a conclusion. These extracts come from an essay which is titled, "Should Mobile Phones Be Banned in Schools?" So, hopefully now you've got your essay extracts into the order, and some of you might have started to think about whether these are effective examples of an introduction, a main body, or a conclusion. I'm going to show you the order that it should have been, and you can self-assess as we go. So we started off with the introduction. We can tell it's the introduction because it introduces the topic and the question of whether mobile phones should be banned in schools. However, you might have seen that the introduction doesn't really clearly state what the author is going to be arguing. Remember that one of our key ingredients of an effective essay was to have a clear opinion. Stating your opinion in the introduction is a really important way of making it clear what you're going to argue and helping the reader follow your argument through. We then come to the main body first section. You probably noticed that there were two examples of paragraphs that would fit into the main body. The first one here introduces the argument that mobile phones should be banned in schools. What the author has done really well here is that they've introduced the main point they're going to be making, and then they've backed it up with a statistic from a teaching union, giving clear evidence that mobile phones are disruptive in school and supporting the point and supporting the argument that mobile phones should be banned in schools. We then come on to the alternative view. Remember, one of our other key ingredients was showing two different sides of an argument. And here we have the opposing view, that pupils may feel safer with phones and therefore they should be allowed to have them in schools. And again, the author has referred to a study, this time from Oxford University, to support that point. Finally, we come to the conclusion. This conclusion does a really good job of summing up the main arguments that have been discussed in the essay. But again, as with the introduction, it could be clearer what the person is trying to argue. Don't forget, having a clear opinion is one of our key ingredients of an effective essay. It's all very well having a clear opinion, arguing it in your essay, but how can you make sure that all the paragraphs in your main body do that and do that effectively? Well, this is where a set paragraph structure like Peel comes in, and some of you may have used this in school before. For those of you that haven't, I'm just going to talk through quickly how Peel works and why it's an effective way of organising your paragraphs. So Peel stands for Point, Evidence, Explain, Link. The first thing you do in the first sentence of your paragraph is state the point that you're trying to make. Remember, in the examples we saw, the author did that effectively. They said that an argument for banning mobile phones would be that they're disruptive, and an argument against them is that they make pupils feel safer. Evidence. So what evidence can you find that supports the point that you're trying to make? This could be from a study, from a piece of research, or a statistic that you could use to support your point. The next point is explain, and this is really important. So how is it that the evidence you have found supports the point you've made? Can you explain that link to the reader? Finally, link. So can you link back your points to the main point and the main argument of your essay? So let's go back to our mobile phone example. If you were trying to argue that mobile phones should be banned in school, how does your point back up your argument that they should be banned in school? This can work even when you're showing the other side of the argument, because you still want to be able to show that despite the other side of the argument, your opinion is still the correct one.